the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Let's go to Jacob waiting patiently in Massachusetts. Hello, Jacob.
Good morning. So I'm 14. I've always wanted a phone, and my parents said that if I could get your approval to have a phone, they would buy me one.
Haha. What kind of phone are you looking for, Jacob?
Probably mainly for communication, like probably one of those like Gab phones or something that's quite limited.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So if you were looking for a smartphone like an iPhone or an Android, my personal view would be no way, Jose. That it's like handing you a stick of dynamite and expecting it not to go off in your hands. There's just so much bad stuff and bad people out on the internet who are looking for 14-year-old boys like you that it would be a disaster for you to have that kind of a phone. But I am a big believer in, especially in the modern era that we live in, that you should have a way for your parents to reach you and vice versa so they can know where you are or so you can get help if you're in a difficult situation. So I would advise what I colloquially call a dumb phone, and that sounds like that might be what you're talking about. If you and your parents were to take a look at Charity Mobile, they're sponsors of this program, wonderful company, CharityMobile.com, and they do have phones that they're dumb phones like flip phones. There is some capability of going out on the internet, but it's very difficult and cumbersome. So that might be something when you're older. But there's also something, I don't know if your mom or dad are listening right now, but there's another one. You mentioned the Gab phone. That's a good option too. I've never held one in my hands, but I've seen them. And I think that they are, they're the kind of phone that I would be in favor of for someone like yourself. Another one is called the Light phone. Have you heard of those?
I haven't heard of those.
Yeah, you might want to ask your parents if they could take a look at that. I'm not sending you to the internet, but I'm saying if they want to pull up the website, it's thelightphone.com, L-I-G-H-T. It's a phone that can do everything that you'll need. So you can make phone calls, it has an alarm, you can get directions, you can play music, you can put notes, there's a calendar function, but you can't go on the internet. You can't access a website. You can't download Snapchat, any of those things. But it gives you all of that connectivity that you want. You can text with your parents. And it's just a really good tool for people who, like you want to be safe and smart. That's another option that I would look into.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that our good friends at Charity Mobile will figure out a way, where there's a will, there's a way, I guess, but I hope that they will include the Light phone in their lineup of phones. I don't know that it's available, yet, but that's my hope. But in the meantime, that is an option, and I think your parents will see that you really can't get into trouble, and you don't want to get into trouble, do you? You don't want to get into trouble.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, you don't. So this will give you and them, I believe, what you're looking for. Phone calls, texting, maps, alarm, but none of the bad stuff. That'd be my recommendation, Jacob. Okay?
Okay.
All right. It's great to be 14 years old, that's for sure. Like what you just heard? Share it with your family and friends. And thanks for listening.